The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
So, as we're celebrating the United Arab Emirates' National Day, we're joined very kindly by His Excellency Jean-Philippe Linteau, who is the Consul General of Canada here in the United Arab Emirates and also a friend of the show. Very good morning and a happy National Day to you.
Well, very good morning, Abdul Karim. Always great to join you, especially on such a momentous occasion.
It's certainly a pleasure to have you, and it's great that you've been a friend of Sharjah and a friend of Pulse 95 as well. So let's start talking about the importance of the relations and the significance of the UAE National Day for your consulate staff and for yourself personally as well.
Well, the UAE and Canada enjoy incredible relations together, and so that National Day represents a celebration of that relations. We are important trade partners, trade and investment partners. Canada makes an incredible contribution to food security, for example, in the UAE by supplying wheat, pulses, oilseeds, and other things. Canada and the UAE also have a lot of foreign investment in each other's countries, in infrastructure, in real estate, in petrochemicals, in energy. So that's very important. And increasingly, I see health, science, and innovation collaboration taking off between Canada and the UAE. And so, celebrating the National Day means that the UAE is growing. We're growing with you, and that's why it's momentous for us. I have to say we also share fundamental values, and as you celebrate the National Day, you celebrate those values and things that we have in common, like diversity, inclusion, tolerance, and gender equality. Those are fundamental for Canada. I've talked to you about those already in previous occasions. And then finally, people-to-people ties. I mean, we have 40,000 Canadians in the UAE, and they are everywhere. They are in government, they are in academia, they are in business. And, many of your listeners have Canadian colleagues or Canadian friends here, or maybe they're Canadian themselves, and this is something that builds on that we build on, as the UAE is a welcoming country, and we're grateful for the warm welcome that they extend to our Canadian residents here.
No, they certainly do, and I'd like to know a little bit more about yourself, because you've been here for quite some time now in the United Arab Emirates. So do you have any first few memories of when you yourself took on this role and your first time arriving in the country, and what have you seen change, and what are your favorite pastimes to do in this country?
So I have to say, I arrived in the UAE just before National Day a year ago, so the 48th birthday of the country, and there we celebrated in person. And it was phenomenal. I especially remember my attendance at the Dubai Police event, which was high in color and very entertaining. But my time here has been dominated by the COVID epidemic, obviously the pandemic, and so. What's when I think of good memories is how my staff and our partners in the UAE, the airlines, the travel agent, the UAE government came together to support the Canadian community through these very difficult times and help Canadians go home and that sort of thing. That is a strong moment or strong feeling that I have on our own National Day on July 1st, how the maple leaf was everywhere and very visible, and that showed the incredible level of affection that exists for Canada here. It was also a fabulous memory. And then personally, I learned how to scuba dive in the UAE, and my favorite moments are spent underwater in Fujairah, and so this is always going to be with me, and special. The UAE is a place where I found a new happy place, basically.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great to hear as well about that. Talk to us about how you are planning to celebrate the National Day this time round. Is going to be a very socially distanced, I imagine, but something more of a together family time.
That's right. So my family is here with me in the UAE, and we're hoping to get to discover some of the natural beauty of the UAE. So we haven't finalized, but from my recent visit to Sharjah, I got a very strong pitch to go visit some of the sites there in the desert and archaeological sites in Sharjah. So that might very well be where you'll see me this holiday.
Wow, it certainly is exciting times for sure. And we wish you all the very best on your little adventure to Maliha region in the central region. I'd like to finally get a concluding remark from your side, your message to all the Canadians who are celebrating the UAE National Day about celebrating with the host country. Talk to us about what your advice would be for them.
Well, I want to, first of all, congratulate the UAE on that 49th anniversary. So mabruk to our UAE friends. But for Canadians here, enjoying everything that this country brings to its citizens, but also its residents. We want you to be part of that increased engagement and that close collaboration that we enjoy with the United Arab Emirates. In the COVID recovery period, there will be a lot of opportunities to do more together. We look forward to celebrate the 50th birthday of the UAE at Expo 2020 next year, and hope to see all the Canadians there and part of that.
Have you managed to learn some Arabic or know how to say Happy National Day in Arabic so far?
I'm sorry. Sorry. This is not one that I practice. I do learn.
Okay,
I
we'll
do
teach
know a
you.
few things, but I need to work harder at it.
We'll teach you right now. So, Yaum Watani Mubarak.
Yaum Watani Mubarak.
Perfect.
Let's try again. Yaum Watani Mubarak.
Brilliant. Excellent. See, we're learning new things on the Morning Majlis. Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning, Your Excellency Jean-Philippe Linteau, the Consul General of Canada and the United Arab Emirates. And we look forward to welcoming you back in the studio once again in the near future.
Thank you for having me.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.